How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today is going to be a little bit of a personal video because I'm going to talk about my hoarding problem and what that has to do with building wealth. You see, a couple of videos ago, I talked about me having a gazillion hobbies and I showed a whole bunch of different things on camera. Some of you commented that might be a hoarder, and when I first read it, I was like, oh, of course not. I'm not a hoarder. You see, what you see on camera is basically cleaned up very well compared to the rest of the place I live in. Generally, in the living room is pretty clean, but in the garage, in the bedroom, in my closet, in everywhere else, basically, it's just jam-packed. It's not so bad like those pack rat people that appear on television. I have space to walk through stuff. The point here, though, I have so much stuff that it's embarrassing to show on camera. So that's why you don't see me carry the camera everywhere, every which way throughout the whole place. Now, here's a problem statement. If you have something around, even if it has very little value, let's say it's half a penny or 1 penny, you tend to want to keep it because it has some value to it. If it's for personal use, I personally want to use it until it's completely used up to the very last drop. And then I'm like, okay, it's completely used. Now I can finally throw it away. For example, if it's a piece of electronics that I can fix, I might just fix it and then just keep on using it. Now, I want to thank those 1 or 2 commenters that said I was a hoarder. It did not really resonate with me because when I first read it, I just kind of dismissed it very quickly. I'm like, I'm not a hoarder. Look, my living space is just fine. But upon thinking about it some more and then looking at the stuff I have, the stacks and stacks of paper, the magazines, all the other stuff I'm going to show you, really made me realize that maybe I am a hoarder after all. So I'm really glad that I put these things on video and then people are commenting. It's kind of like a self-help thing. You guys are helping me. So yeah, I'm just going to run with this because whenever I watch some other videos about hoarders, it's like, oh, they piled it really high. They have like really huge problem. And then I look at myself, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not anywhere near that. I certainly am not. However, I can see the parallels here. I'm kind of like, if a 10 is like really, really rabid hoarder, I'm probably at like 4 or 5, I think. So as a wealth builder, I currently don't buy that much stuff. However, I used to buy a lot, and all this residual stuff from before I never got rid of, and I'm just kind of trying to get rid of it by selling them. One of the things I realized that as you live your life, you accumulate stuff. And if you think that you're going to try to sell them all the time, you're going to end up accumulating more and more. If you're working a full-time job, it's likely to be very hard to purge all this stuff at a faster rate than you accumulate. So if there's a net inflow of things, you're just going to keep on accumulating stuff and things are going to start filling your place up. Now, I watched a whole bunch of videos on how to stop hoarding, but the first 3 videos I looked at was saying, yeah, this is how you hoard. You should sign up to our class, go to our website, and buy some book or something, and then you'll find out how to stop hoarding. So naturally, I'm like, wow, why didn't you just go to the video and just start telling people how to stop hoarding instead? For me, it's not really the mechanics of it because I understand, yeah, you should, have a limited size box for all your cables, and if it goes over, you should throw them away. The problem lies in the difficulty of why you should throw the excess away, because as a hoarder, you don't want to throw the excess away at all. For me, it's an emotional criteria that allows me to get rid of excess stuff. What does this mean? It means I finally realized that, yeah, maybe I have a little bit of a hoarding problem and I need to take care of it. To realize that this stuff is weighing me down, keeping me from being able to easily move from one place to another, easily to go traveling, and maybe free up my mind so that I have a more free space so that I can be more creative, making, YouTube videos or whatnot. I think those things is what caused me to finally look at something and be able to toss something away, even though there's some residual value left in them. Now, sentimental things, you're supposed to keep a limited amount of it. Now, I tend to keep like all kinds of wedding invitations, and I tend to have a really big pile of it by now, and letters and things like that. But I think any kind of birthday invitation, wedding invitations, you can safely throw these away and still keep more important things like letters or whatnot. Now, non-sentimental things that you don't really use every single day, I personally do not have a problem of selling them. The problem lies if the value of that thing is too low, it will cost too much time to sell. I found that it might cost you about 15 minutes of time in order to take pictures, list them, package the thing up, and send it off into the mail. So I think the item itself plus shipping needs to be valued at $8 or more in order for you to go through the trouble of listing it, because by the time you subtract out fees, shipping costs, and things like that, you're only gonna get a few dollars back. So $4 for every 15 minutes, then that means you're making $16 an hour. So you might go, Beat the Bush, your time is worth more than $16. I tend to agree, but it's really hard to raise this threshold for myself. And I think throwing stuff away that's valued at $8 or lower is pretty good already. Now, if you have a lot of similar items that's valued at $8 or less, you can definitely pool them together and then list them, and then it'll be worth your while. Now, I don't want to bore you guys with all the cables I have, but I do have 2 bins of it, like this big, of just, different cables that's sorted into different things like MIDI cables, USB cables, telephone cables, all kinds of cables. So realizing that I've never touched this in the past 5 years and it's really causing me, just mental blockage over here, I'm going to cut these up on camera to make sure that I don't sneakily go behind the camera and go, oh, I'm just gonna keep these, I made the video already, I'm gonna keep them somehow. I don't know why I'm keeping these, because I like to keep everything grouped together, and after they're grouped together, you figure you would just look at it and go, wow, I do have a lot of them, I need to get rid of some. But that kind of stopped there for me. I just group things together and they just sit there like this. So this is pretty hard for me to do, but realizing what I just told you, all the emotional things, this is becoming easier. So I'm going to cut this, just sort of destroy it so that I must throw it away now. I have to throw that one away. I have to throw, what, these are gross. Some of them are sticky. So there you go. Goodbye, cable. Goodbye, cable. I don't even have a landline phone, you guys. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe. I think I had a bag of these for a really long time. What this is? I don't know what this is. There's this weird big cable thing here. So this bag is gone. No one is ever gonna use this. And I cannot save these. I definitely won't save these cut up cables now. So you guys see me wear this nice purple shirt, but sometimes at home, I like to just lounge around with any kind of shirt, even if there's a hole in it. See, this shirt has a hole in it, and I used this for a while, even with the hole in it. But these days, I haven't used this for a really long time, and apparently I should be throwing it away. Most people would, but somehow I kept it. It's just sitting there. I don't use it, so now I'm definitely going to throw this away. This one, the whole collar fell off. This one is kind of weird color. This one, you see the arm right here has a hole in it. Oh my gosh. Somehow this shirt is very tiny. It shrunk, but I kept it somehow. This shirt is really tiny, so I think I can donate it. Someone else can fit it. But these things with holes in it, I probably just throw in the trash. See, this is what I mean with the t-shirt with holes in it. Well, I'm gonna throw that away. Another really torn up t-shirt. The funny thing is I have about 50 other t-shirts that are, does not have holes in it. So this is just a sampling of it. I'm gonna go through my clothes some more just to streamline everything. I'm just starting right now. So for a while I was collecting these used shampoo bottles, and I thought, I'm gonna reuse these little pump bottles. I'm gonna put something else in it. But turns out after several years, well, I didn't use them even once. So then, just recently, just a couple of days ago, I took all of them, which is a bag worth of this much. I threw it away. So I guess the criteria here is whatever that you're hoarding, you have to look at it and go, did you ever use it in the past? Maybe you did. Maybe you used it one tiny time. But certainly there's probably a lot of different items that people do hoard that they never ever touched. And if you can just realize that you did not touch them for a couple years or something, you're safe to throw it away. Here's a sampling of a whole bunch of magazines I have. I don't think I've ever thrown away a magazine subscription that came in the mail for me. I collected them all. They're in boxes everywhere. But I think now I'm going to start throwing this away. And to show you guys that I am really going to throw this away, I'm going to rip it like this. See? And I definitely won't keep them now, right? But I'm going to recycle them. Definitely. I can only do it one at a time. I never looked at these. I think for this series, Power Electronics, I actually, didn't really read this magazine all that much when it came anyway. Luckily, I did not pay for this magazine. It just comes in the mail for free. I think just for these magazines, I have enough to fill this couch up to about here. volumetrically, like to here. So this is just a sampling, and I'm glad I did it on video because, you know, ripping them, I think this helps me to get rid of stuff just to start me off. So I did look at how much you can sell magazines for, and that was the thought, that maybe later on, maybe when it's really old, you can sell the magazines for money. The thing is, I looked up these things, you know, something related to this. It goes for about like $1.50, but keeping a magazine for, let's say, 20 years and you can only sell it for $1 at the end makes it really not worth it.